All right, title of today's video is Will Smith's confession is worse than we thought. I don't know what he confessing about, but I'm already scared. Let's jump
In America, you're lucky and cursed at the same time, especially if you're a man. America is the home of competition, being number one, being the best, and being broke is not acceptable. Being in second place is not acceptable.
Right.
You play sports when you're young and you're always taught to win. Getting trophies is everything, and losing is anything but nice.
He's right, you know.
Ricky Bobby.
But with motivational speeches, hard work, and dedication, you find yourself out of your situation, especially if you come from the inner city. You find a way to make it in academia, blue-collar trades, or business, and there you are. You've made it. You're now the man. You can buy anything that you want. The ladies is on you. Your mom is happy. She gonna always tell you, you was always my favorite kid. But then something just don't feel right, because you find out that things are more difficult for you when they should be more simple. And this is the plight of the successful man, but really the successful black man. And this is the situation that Will Smith has faced in his life. He did everything that you did, worked hard, made it, became successful, only for his ex-best friend Bilal to say he was gay.
Damn.
Try to sue him for everything he got. And then after making $300 million, he found out something interesting.
There's an amount of money that once you pass it, it buys misery. Once you have a certain amount of money, you can change people's lives. So it's really all people can think about. So it's difficult to make new friendships at certain financial points, right? In America, somewhere around $1 million a year, it starts going the other way, where it's more problems beyond that. And you start getting into really an attack zone.
Did you guys hear that?
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. I never thought about it from that perspective, obviously, because I'm not rich. But like, once you get past a certain threshold, yo, you can change my life. You know, oh, I knew you since whatchamacallit. Oh, I helped you do this. You should at least, oh, it ain't gonna be that bad for you. Yo, I can see that.
I know so many of you guys want to chase the bag and get money. And don't get me wrong, we all gotta chase the bag. We all gotta get money. But is getting money a diminishing return at a point? It's not because of your success. It's because how everybody else reacts to your success.
Okay.
And that largely is a problem. And one of the things that he said that was important, it's hard for him to make relationships with people, not because he's not a good person. It's because of what the other person may believe that they want from him.
You don't know nobody's intentions, especially when you are walking lick like that.
And he isn't the only person to say the same thing.
Bad part number one is everyone wants a job. I have friends from high school asking for a job. I have family members asking for a job. I have complete strangers asking for me to give them a job.
Now, many of you guys understand this, even if you have a good job. If you have a business, or if you're doing well in the business, here comes somebody else that didn't put in the work that you did. And the first thing they asking you is, put a jigger on, brother. And then,
Although I've given a whole lot of opportunities to people, I still have people asking for stuff.
even if you put them on, they still want more. And here's something that's important for a lot of men to understand. No matter how much money you make or how many opportunities you create for others, it will simply just never be enough. People who are losers or who are lazy and who don't have any work ethic, they always need everything because they're losers and you're successful. In their mind, if you're not helping them, then it's your problem. And some of you guys can understand this with the women that you date, and are dating women that are poor or the lower middle class is a whole nother episode I'll get into later. But you'll also find this with the ladies you deal with. For whatever you deal with them, even though the dudes they've been dealing with before can't do nothing but, they always get a little bit of an attitude if you can't give them something after they just asked your ass for some money just 3 hours ago when you gave it to them.
Damn.
Press 1 in the comments if this has ever happened to you, and subscribe and hit the bell if you like this video. And then, what do you do when you really start getting money? Is it really as exciting as you think?
When I was younger, I was poor. I grew up, without a lot of money.
Okay.
And I was always wanting to get stuff because I never had things.
I know.
But once I got rich and once I started making a lot of money, things started being less interesting. Things just kind of lose its appeal because it's no longer exciting. There's no dopamine hit when I go to a Louis V store or I go to a Rolex store. There's no dopamine hit because it's like, yeah, I could buy this today. I could buy it today. And what's the point?
Now, me and Dima started really working together around 2017. I was doing okay on YouTube, but I can remember like our 3rd or 4th year, I got to a point where, it wasn't anything that I couldn't buy at that point. And I thought I wanted to buy these things. I thought I wanted to have these things. And I just realized that, damn, I don't really have any use for this. It wasn't until 2021 that I took my first business class flight. I was still being cheap and flying economy. I mean, not that it matters anybody, but I just, did it for myself to see how it would feel. And ultimately, what I realized was that, oh, this is interesting. It's nice, but it's nothing to go home about.
Yeah.
And I realized that money was just something, but it wasn't me. It shouldn't dictate how I treat somebody or how I feel about the world. It was just something that I could use to buy something, if you get my drift. And then after I was able to buy certain things that I wanted, I just really didn't care for it anymore. And I'm pretty sure that many of you guys are the same way. You buy it. I mean, you don't really have a lot of use for things. Some of you brothers may or may not, but ultimately you are the same person you used to be when like literally you were broke and didn't have anything. And then
reality, making money, you just buy nicer shit. Whoop-de-doo. Temporary happiness. Everyone knows that.
now DDG is way more successful than me, and he's like, look, money ain't everything. Everybody knows that. Nah, DDG, everybody don't know that because everybody ain't had money like you.
Money like that,
but watch what he says next.
You probably stood in line for some J's. You probably stood in line for some forces, whatever the you stood in line for in order for you to obtain this gift that you wanted, or you want the new Jordans, whatever, boom. And once you put them on, you can't give a about them a year later, a week later. That's how everything is. Whether you buying a mansion, a super mansion, a super car, a jet, a boat, a yacht, whatever you buying, that's gonna satisfy you for a short amount of time.
The most important thing that he said there was like, imagine a new pair of shoes that you bought. You're very excited to have these new pair of shoes, but then like after 3 or 4 months, you really don't care about it because you've already had it. Yeah. And it's not really that important anymore. It's already happened. The problem is that like a lot of guys who become successful, you are used to having things. The problem is interacting with people who are not used to having things. And I don't mean to really be mean and say this about friends, family, or women, but that's kind of the trade-off that I understand that many of us deal with. Okay. If you are a guy and you're doing very well, obviously you can leverage some of that for a lady who is very beautiful. And what I have learned with my old ass is that I never really even tell anybody like what I do or what I have. And even if they play me like they not interested, I mean, it's just cool or whatever, right? But the reality is that once people understand what you have as a man, especially as a black man, because you're really valued, folks are really fake, including the men in your life. I've not been talking about women, but some of the most dangerous dudes are the dudes who want to be like close to you, be all kind of buddy with you, but ultimately planning your downfall because they don't know how it is to have money and they're dying for any feeling of that, to have money coming in because they feel that money makes them
willing to do anything to get it too, whether it be push you over a cliff or stab you in the back. Oops.
They don't know that. And being close to them could be your demise. For an example, we've already seen so many rappers who have been killed by haters because they were broke and couldn't get money. June 2018, we saw XXXTentacion, who was literally killed in Deerfield Beach, Florida, because dudes wanted $50,000 in cash because they thought that money would change their life. And it did. It got them life in prison.
Yo.
Then September 2022, PNB Rock is in Los Angeles at Roscoe's House Chicken and Waffles. Somebody wanted his chain. He didn't want to give it up. And we already know what happened with him. Then there was Pop Smoke, who was killed February 19, 2020 at a rented property in Hollywood Hills. The young man was only 20 years old. What are you getting at, O'Shea? Money is great, but ultimately it's not everything. And you need to understand that. It literally...
I know we hear that a lot, especially us without money and work so hard to get it. But if you can look at it from a macro style, if you want to take like some of the wisdom that people with money always say, because it's been said since forever, money isn't everything. Then you get all these recent examples of how relationships and other things matter, not just money. I know it's not saying everything, but
is not everything. There are certain people who are going to come into your life because you have money, and they don't care nothing about you. It's really a negative thing to a certain degree, if you get my drift. And the more little nice stuff you buy, the nice cars, the houses, the trips you promote online, all the stuff that you got, you literally bring the wrong people into your life. And a lot of people don't look at the fact that you've worked hard, that you were talented, that you did what you did because, hey,
that you sacrificed for it. They only see, the only thing they see is you got it. You got it because you got lucky. You got it because of X, Y, and Z. Not because you worked hard and you sacrificed for it. It's not because of that.
Hey, you really love what you do. What they ask is, why not me? And a person that asks, why not me, when you are the one that built your life, is dangerous. So if you're going to get the bag, by all means, go and get it. But just know that once your status becomes undeniable, it's going to be hard to make friends. It's going to be hard to meet the right woman. It's going to be hard to do any of that. And what you thought is your leverage can instantly become your weakness. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of...
Wow, man, that's crazy. What you thought was your advantage eventually your leverage eventually becomes your disadvantage, or however he worded it. Great video by O'Shea again. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. It's your boy Guy with a Mic. Till next time.